Good evening and welcome to the first in the series of Just Seriously. I'm Kriss Venugopal and with me is Kabeer. Today we're going to delve into the different aspects of life of a person who really invokes a motivation in you when it comes to entrepreneurs as well as when it comes to living life as such. I have the pleasure of introducing Kabeer, who's actually an IT professional from QSAT and a person who has been exemplary in elocutions during his school days. He has been a part of different organizations and currently the high performance entrepreneurship for 100 days, the audio rooms really made waves across LinkedIn. So today, let me start by inviting Kabir onto the stage. Kabir, welcome to Just Seriously with me.
Thank you, Dr. Chris, and it's a pleasure to be with you.
It's Let me start with the early school days where English elocution really went into your heart. When we are voicing thoughts, the first voice which the world heard was your speeches on stage. We'd like to know about what motivated you to get on stage with elocution and speeches on stage.
Really, I was not into elocutions, but an instance being I couldn't answer something in my English class, and I was with few of my friends. I was put to stand. That's how the punishments were. And that day, uh, there came an announcement for JCI Junior Chamber International competition for the district, and they announced a lot of like competitions, and English elocution was one of them. So since I was standing, and my legs were paining, I told yes, I'm going for that, and I met with uh, the teacher in charge. From there, I got an opportunity from our teacher, Mr. Tulasidas sir, gave me a script, and it was Amina Miss who was in charge of the who was in charge of the English elocution. She tried her best. It was not working. I tried preparing the speech, delivering in front of her. No emotions, no nothing. Nothing was happening. And I was staying in the boarding, so it was in the campus. So one day, a teacher was coming there, and I had we used to get caned up when we do some mischiefs in the boarding. And that fine day, I got beaten up very badly. And after that, teacher was coming from one side. So, tears were there. I didn't want to show the tears out. But the next day, it was the Independence Day. So, the teacher told me, she reached me. And she told, "Are you ready with the elocution for tomorrow?" I told yes. Since there was tears and there was emotions, I delivered it, and she told, "Wow, fantastic, very great speech." I couldn't
So,
tell her that day. Next day, I presented it in the school. I got first there, and after that, I went for JCI competition. And to my luck, it was my first time on stage, and I was announced the first that day.
oh,
And
that's
that
wonderful. Kabir, when you started off by mistake, as you said, you started off by mistake, but you went on to win four consecutive titles, and it was consecutive titles that makes a difference. So, how that deepening of uh, wanting to be on stage happened in you, the transformation.
as a child, that gave me a confidence of talking. Till that, I did my partial schooling here in Dubai, and after that I went there, so I had an advantage of the language, but I never had been to stage. And winning JCI was something that motivated me. And after that, obvious, I had one of our principal, Mr. Narayanan sir, who was from Ambalappuzha, and he started giving me books. He started helping me in presenting, and that's how step by step I started delivering the presentation. And it is by my teachers. Else, I wouldn't have got any inspiration in that.
When it comes to talking about voice, because we are voicing thoughts in this Just Seriously talk, when you actually look at life, voicing is an entirely different aspect. Let's come to the SMB award winning Farm Chim, which actually became a kind of a standard when you are voicing your thoughts for agriculture, when you are voicing your thoughts for farmers, when you're voicing your thoughts for a good food or a kind of a better kind of lifestyle. Tell me about that experience and how from an IT professional to agriculture and farm and all that outlets, how actually it started.
So now it takes me to my engineering. So, I went to the engineering college not so much to learn engineering or to be an engineer. Rather than that, it was for me that is to be an entrepreneur. That's why I joined the engineering college, and I always wanted to make a masterpiece of what I was doing. And QSAT was one of the colleges that was who started giving IT, and it was more to a management paper. So I chose that, lot of IT subjects, and I really started enjoying it. And I wanted to do something good in IT. So that one day I met a friend, and he was fully paralyzed, and he could just only move his hand. From there, he was getting treated with good food. From that point, what happened was that I saw him cure himself, and that triggered something like to get what good food was about. But when I traveled on that, there was lot of passionate farmers, which was spread across India, and most of them didn't have faces. No one knew who produced their food. Then in 2006, I wanted to try this. I wanted good food to reach to people. People needed good food, and it was a simple system. That is just to let people know who produced your food, where it was produced, and how it was produced. When I started doing this and working on the logistics, what happened was that it was too complicated for me, a small kid out of the college. So after that, it took me 10 years to do a prototype, and in 2016, FarmSim was born, and from the 2017, we had our first store, and 2018 we got it inaugurated. We reached a lot of heights. We had 2018 with Islat Assembly Award. Then we represented UAE on ASC 2019, and we were the finalist in social entrepreneurship, and lot of awards. And it was a good journey because we could communicate, or we could show the words, or like one thing which we did was we brought farmers back to near the people who consume the food, and we made them communicate. So this was a small brief of this.
Indirectly, you were voicing for the farmers. Initially, you were voicing for IT, then you voiced for the farmers. Then it moved on where your voice, which was heard on stage, on prepared speeches, then you started speaking as a mentor to people and giving them ideas how you can grow like a small plant. Like a farmer takes care of a small plant, you started taking care of different businesses, and the startup growth started. And coming to that part, before that, there is a small region where the Chuma Walk started. So we'd like to know about Chuma Walk and what it actually voices to the world.
2019, when I started Farm Gym, and when we started Farm Gym as a store, we had lots of challenges that came in. The first challenge that came in was the Nipah virus in Kerala. So we were very new, and it was too complicated of a system because I neither had the experience in retail, nor did I have knowledge in supply chain. So, and how I wanted without chemicals reaching food to people, there was not much of a mentorship I was getting. So this started, and my health started taking a toll. And sometimes I started feeling the loneliness, or I couldn't speak to much of people. At that time in 2019, in mid of 2019, I started because a lot of people we started winning a lot of awards. A lot of people started coming for mentorship or for discussing about how to do or how to run a startup. So I started one thing was I put up. I wanted to wake up at 5 a.m. So in Dubai, Kisais Pond Park, I with one of my friends sent. We both started walking early morning, and whoever comes for mentorship or discussion, I used to tell, come at 5 a.m. so that we can meet. And there I would. It was we walked for 30 minutes. Then there was a pitching session where everyone would pitch their idea for 1 minute, and it was evaluated. And after that, there was yoga. There was bit of earthing, and and they had to read for 15 minutes. They had to write their daily task for 15 minutes, and this went on till just before the corona. It had to stop, and after that, it just stopped. That's how it started. Chumawak started, and I had to close down Farm Chim, or it's kind of a temporary close. This last year, January, I had to close doors of Farm Chim. So at that time, again, the same thing of loneliness came in. So I thought now it's time I have to start Chumawak, and I started that online. That's a brief, or that's how it started, Chumawak.
So, in a way, I would say you have been voicing for different reasons, and you have been the mouthpiece for farmers, you have been a mouthpiece for entrepreneurs, you have been a motivational person who led people to success. And there would be many fallouts, there would be many joining ins, there would be fresh ideas popping in every day. How does family look at this? How does family look at your voicing in different levels? Your family support during farm chimp, your family support during Juma walk, and all these mentorship. Because in a house, when you find that somebody is waking up at 5 o'clock and he's talking to people, naturally there will be other voices also heard. So those voices, how far it was good enough?
Exactly. So, uh, I have my wife here. You could see Shemi down there. So uh, it's like in our place, it's mainly arranged marriages. So how it works is you go to the girls. See, so I've seen around 50 girls when arranged marriage. And after that, I meet my wife, and after that we get married. And so whoever I see, I tell them I'm going to be an entrepreneur, and if you're ready for the challenges of an entrepreneur, you can join the journey. So usually it doesn't work. So before reaching home, they'll call father and tell, "Come on, man, this doesn't work." Everyone wants someone who is working. So I don't know. That may be the reason still. And she's a pillar for me. So what happens is that each time this is like farm team closed. It's not like I had just one failure or I've just collapsed one time. It is around 11 startups or 11 businesses roughly I have done, and for one reason or the another, I had to stop or close them down. And but if you ask me, do I regret? No, each one was learning for me because I haven't worked much anymore from college itself, or coming to college was with a bag of bakery biscuits or magazines, IT magazines, and that's how I came to QSAT. And after that, the second year, I tried to start a company, but there was no much of a mentorship or anyone telling you how to do things. Third year, I developed an hospital ERP, and I claimed it ERP because again there was no much uh, support. But fourth year, I penned down Piazza, my first company, and again I had a training academy. I had Radical Gurus. That was again my one training academy, and there was a software development house. I've done a couple of things, and one of the successful things after that was furniture. So I would tell from home there was support. It is kind of yeah. There's a backbone. She was supporting me. So when I fail, she would tell, "Come on, let's give it a try again." So that gives him the next energy. And apart from that, if I would like to tell, the morning, yeah, from my parents, there was a bit of a pressure because every parent want their kids to work and have a secure life. So challenges, unless and until you are from a pure business family, it's a different thing. So the support was from my son and wife mainly. And now I mentor people. Now I mentor startups, or I mentor individuals, and that is where, yeah, that starts. Now my day starts at 3 a.m. That's a different time I start. That's a brief.
That's a beautiful journey. I would like to bring in or throw light on your son being a very young entrepreneur. So, how that exposure, like usually when a youngster says, I want to be an entrepreneur, that itself brings in a lot of worries. But you have mentored your son to be a young entrepreneur. We'd like to know about that thought, which needs to be voiced to the world, how you can be a role model to your child.
So for my son, okay, now his project's name is MrFE.com, which has launched for a public launch. We are just waiting. And so he has been in, he's homeschooled basically. He hasn't had the regular schooling, so he does his curriculum on Khan's Academy. Apart from that, he's a karate third round, and he does a bit of video production on his own. So these are few things he works, and I think his partner Amin is there in the audience right now. So Amin is again my junior in QSAT final year. He's doing his final year in IT, and my son is 13 years now. He just became 13 years the December 22nd. So I wanted him to start early, understand the challenges of entrepreneurship. He has been coming, like, since he doesn't have a regular school, he used to come for all competitions, all what I would tell, accelerators or incubators which I go, used to speak to people. And I think age is not a tight bound thing which should be kept. And now he's starting it. He has worked. They have started generating their revenue, and I think we have to give like, this was few things I was missing when I was a child.
Right.
So I asked him,
Where,
"Do you want to do it?" He gave it a yes. Then it's fine.
well, Kabir, you have voiced out different aspects in life. Now, there have been many mentors, influencers whose voice would still ring in your mind. Now, when it comes to those voices, who are the people who would come to your mind, who you would like to talk about or voice your thoughts about the people who influenced you or motivated you to be what you are today?
So, uh, if I would like to tell a few names, it would be, one would be my friend Nishat, who is in Japan right now, and who was a person who first agreed to be a part of my team in 2005 or 6 when I started Piazza. And he knew that I never knew anything about business. But at that time I was scouting for people. I scouted around 20 people, but no one joined. But he was one person who joined. And it was struggle, as you know. Your first days as an entrepreneur, it's almost struggle. Then after that, I would fast forward it. There are few friends. Then you get into the network of entrepreneurs, like budding entrepreneurs who are having your similar challenges, and that I have a few friends like Rajesh, Norbu, and like when I go really down, this is the forums I get benefited from. Apart from this, I have one mentor, Manu Regurajan. So there was a time in, like, if I would like to tell it, it's 2014-15, when I was completely down. That is, I was in Dubai. I kind of came to an entire position where food was a challenge. So I was doing my Toastmastering, and I would go for meetings, and I would take away the leftover food. We would have that food at home. I would bring that. So I would travel with Manu, who is also my mentor. Then one day he asked, "Do you have any problem? Seriously?" I don't know what problem. No problem. Everything is fine. But he told me, "No, no. What are you really doing now? Where do you work?" Then I told, "Nothing is there. There are some challenges, but I'll overcome." Then from there, I have been. It's now 10 years. So whenever I'm down, he takes me for a ride. We speak, but he sometimes doesn't even hear about scalability. But it's a good chat. Then I would like to tell my wife, yes, I speak to her. She reflects back. Then I have one mentor I have got from Toastmasters is Muhammad Murad, who was also the part of our team in Farmkin, and a lot of entrepreneurs who have spent time with, who has given me back the knowledge and wisdom. So Mani
Beautiful.
Ragurajan I would like to tell as one of my mentors who are still there with me or who has been for a long time.
Many years later, when just seriously we would have your son on board and talking about his Mr. Effie and other businesses which he would be handling, he would be talking about his dad and how you influenced him. What is that one thing that you would like to tell about your dad to the world that makes you feel proud?
No, uh, that's a challenging thing. He loves me a lot, but there's a tension between both of us. So he has been doing business, if I'm not wrong, from when he was 9. So we had business in Mumbai, and I think end of his teenage or something, there was a riot, and unfortunately, we lost all our business. And he came to UAE in the launch, and he from my perspective, he never did any business after that. He was just working. And when I wanted to do a business, or when I had my idea to start my own business, he was very against it. It may be because the traumas which he has faced. He told, "Do work. You don't have any tension. You can get relaxed." But I would always admire the way how he handles wealth, and that is one strength. He has just learned till fourth grade, but I've seen how he has, and his dream was to like. I come from a place where we are educationally very backward. I didn't know there existed engineering or there existed MBBS, and I never knew how to get into an engineering college. But he had a dream. He wanted all his kids to do masters. And I still remember when I was in Dubai and we were going back, he told this to one of his friends, and I was in the back seat, and he told, "Kunyo, see, you won't even understand what they tell in 10th standard. Why do you still dream to make them like graduates?" So, and he left his job and everything, and he just focused so that we would finish our graduation. And there was nothing much on the restriction. Whatever we wanted to choose, we could choose that. So I like his dreams basically, and he is like how he took his dreams. And apart from that, his wealth management. These are two things. And
Whenever we hear you, you talk about a dreamer from this part of the world. Probably that dreamer was born from that dreamer who had dreams for his children. Uh, when we have to pinpoint one thing, the whole listening crowd, what we have now in this session, I would say many fear going on stage, but you started off going on stage at a very young time and being awarded, being honored, all those aspects. And today also you're voicing for the world, you're voicing for startups who want to grow up. You are voicing for scaling, upscaling the startups and getting entrepreneurship. So, what aspect should one person have in mind when he goes on stage and speaks? Or even now, from that young boy who went on stage and won an award to the person who presided over Toastmasters, a person who won awards from JCI, a person who is mentoring people day in and day out, who brought out ideas like Chuma Walk, Farm Chimp. The journey is on and on. So, what is that aspect of voice you would like to say? Like, what a person should keep in mind when he goes on stage at any point in time?
I think it was see after joining your coaching with you, and uh, my mentor telling me one thing: just be who you are, just speak your mind, and you'll win the hearts. So these are few. This is few things I would like to tell about what you have to be on stage. And there was one thing which happened when we won Itisla Assembly Award. Literally, me and my wife, we both cried. So there was an acceptance speech. So Muhammad Murad was there, and he was a great speaker. He was in our team. He was with us. Then I told sir, "Can you just tell the acceptance speech?" Anyway, I'm not prepared for that, and I was crying. Yes, brother. And he told, "Don't worry, whatever you want, just tell." I went there. It's few lines I spoke, but I got. I think I was the only team in the award who got a standing ovation, and my script was not prepared, or I just spoke from my heart. I think that's enough for your voice to be heard.
That's a great takeaway for any person who goes on stage. Words of truth from the heart will always make the eyes well up with tears. And today, I would like to, before we close the chat and open the discussion with all the listeners here, I would like to invite a very passionate software engineer and a coding wizard, Semi, who is actually a pillar of strength for Kabir and who has seen this journey throughout thick and thin. So I would like to invite you to come onto the speaker stage. If you would please raise your hands. When Semi comes, everyone would be so eager to listen to one aspect where when the husband wants to be an entrepreneur and what happens, the kind of struggles. We'd like to hear that from you. So, Semi, if you can raise your digital hand, then we can bring you upstage and we can hear your part of the story also. So, I invite Semi to come on to the speaker stage. If you're able to listen to me, can you please raise your digital hand so that we can bring you upstage? In the meanwhile, as Semi raises her hand, Kabir, when you are looking at the youngsters now, do you feel that the kind of generation what you lived, or probably I lived in my young age, is the young generation now as enthusiastic as we were?
Yeah, for me, it is looking at the youngsters to the era which we were there. They are very curious, and I think they have more exposure than what we had, and they have more exposure what we had. So, taking about entrepreneurship or starting a startup, it took me like there was no support system. I would like to tell at that time, but now an youngster wants to start something. They have a set of support system around them. They have grants, they have initial funding rounds. There is a lot of things. And I think Amin is down there. He's just in his final years, and I think he can vouch for it. So they're having much more opportunities right now. So
Right.
in our era, I think we had to fight with the family. There was no much upbeat with the stories coming in that time. So when we tell our parents we want to be an entrepreneur, they would come on, man, you have cane this day. You'll have to enjoy these days. So I think and the kids are more curious because they have a lot of YouTube or the internet access. They're much more they know what it is, they know where they're going, and they know how to get the support. So I think they're much more advanced than us.
All right. So the half an hour, the chit chat, what we had, it seriously it throws light on how to think to be an entrepreneur. So we were getting your thoughts on how you voiced for the farmers, how you voiced for the IT industry, how you voiced for people who want to start an entrepreneurship, and how failures will not let a person down. Being a mentor, I would really say a person who has seen failure and has seen success will be the right person to guide because he would know where the pitfalls are and where the rising happens. So it was beautiful talking to you, and we are still waiting for Semi to come up. But I would open the floor. Those who would like to speak, interact with Kabir, and also provide your takeaway about this session, please raise your digital hand so that we can bring you upstage and you can share your thoughts too. So, as people raise their hands, I would also like to add one thing. Never, I would stress on that word never so much, because never let your heart say that, no, I will not be able to do this. Because we have Fanaki, we have Beatrice, who actually inspire every morning with their words saying how we can move forward positively. And that really is shown in the life of Kabir, who never ever said, no, I'm stopping it here. Even when talking about Farm Chim, I'm really so touched when you said it is just a temporary closure. We'll be back soon. So that is the main aspect. For me, that would be a takeaway for this day, because that's a lesson which we all need to learn, and we all need to imbibe in our life that never give up. And those who are like really on that, who would never give up, will find success in beautiful ways. So we have Fanaki. Can you hear me, Fanaki?
Yes, I can hear you, Dr. Chris. So nice to
Yes.
be here today. And congratulations on your first audio.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Fanaki. So the stage is all yours. Your takeaway, your questions, or your feedback about this session.
Well, it was amazing. First of all, about the story of Kabeer, like how did he started talking in the public? Most of the experience we get, we don't really expect them. And most of the time, we are always afraid. We are never ready to do something, to start something. And one of the reasons is sometimes we don't know how. And this is what I learned from Kabeer during the 100 Days High Performance Entrepreneur. Like, you don't need to know how, just do it. One day he just asked me like that, go on stage, just talk about something, just ask a question. I was not ready. I said, like, what? I was very angry, like, no, I don't want. But then I come up, I asked some one question, like one obvious question, but then I realized someone said, the question you asked was very good. I was about to ask it at the same time. So that time I realized really we are always waiting for perfection to start something. And as he always say, start small. You don't need to talk directly to the whole world. Start with your family, for example, start with the audience like this one, just seriously. And I love the name of the session, actually, the audio room. So, yeah, thank you so much, Kabi, for sharing your experience. Thank you, Dr. Chris. It's always good to hear your voice. And I'm sure you have a lot of experience about speaking on stage, speaking, because you're all about voice, right? And so,
Very
yeah,
true.
just amazing to be
Thank you
here.
very
And
much,
so,
Fanaki.
good luck for all of the audio room that is going to happen. And yes, thank you for all the people who is joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Fanaki. So, Fanaki, she's transforming people with lifestyle, being a lifestyle coach, and we have Beatrice now. She also handles the morning, the 5 a.m. Club in the eastern side, as well as along with Fanaki, transforming lives. Beatrice, what do you feel about the thoughts we just voiced seriously?
I do. Thank you, Dr. Chris. This is such a good opportunity to share how startups, what the inside is about. Just seriously, what entrepreneurs go through, just to have that opportunity to share that. But it's good. And as for Kabir, I have him to thank for a lot, because just having the opportunity to monitor rooms online, that was out of my comfort zone. So, Kabir is always encouraging, yes, just do it, take the small steps, and you see yourself progressing towards your goals. So that was something that I needed. And it's just like a snowball effect, with growing and growing and more learning and growing. So I thank Kabir for that opportunity. He just has a heart for, and having a heart for, I would say, just people and entrepreneurs. It's been his journey, and also resilience. I can say that. He's a perfect example of resilience. Never give up. Just keep going and see what the day brings. It always brings something positive and something great. Even setbacks or setups for learning and growing. So that's what motivates me and keeps me going, and love to see others grow and learn as well. And so thank you very much. It's that the morning power morning for entrepreneurs, the meditations and habit building skills. It's just been opening up so much awareness and growing. So thanks again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Beatrice. And before we move on to Samya Santosh, I would again remind Semi to come on this come on stage and share the thoughts about the discussion, the journey, and still waiting for you to raise your digital hand. And moving on to Samya Santosh, academic head, PKD School, about the Just Seriously Voicing Thought session with me, and about Kabir's journey. We'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, hello everyone. I truly feel I'm blessed to be part of your first maiden session, like voicing thoughts, just seriously. And we're all blessed souls. It's a beautiful tribe motivating each other. Every time I join in your sessions, it's so motivating and inspiring that I feel like joining again and again. So that's what I feel, and want to tell something like uh, what. What Nelson Mandela said, like, do not judge me by my success, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back again. That's what I see in both of you, the host and Kabir. Like, every struggle, they both don't take it as a struggle, but they take it as a strength and challenge. So, both of you, the host and the guest, both are so motivating, and it's all their perseverance and hard work which makes them makes them attempt to different what a variety of adventures. I would say adventures because they take the risk of getting into it. Especially Dr. Chris, which is so full of a lot of activities, but he still finds time to start something like this for all of us, for the society, voicing the thoughts of various people. So I wish good luck in all the attempts of all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Soumya. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Semi, Santosh, Vonarina, Yahya, Bashir, Kanimuri, Amin, Jay George, Fatima, Davis, and Alicia. The floor is open. You can raise your hand and I can bring you upstage so that you can share your thoughts and we can interact. Meanwhile, Kabir, when you actually were doing the 100 days of high performance entrepreneurship, uh, there has not been a precedence where an entrepreneur is revealing all secrets. Here, what I see is everyone thinks entrepreneurship is about money. But here, what Beatrice said, what Finaki said, what we get from what Soumya said, or from what you shared with us, it actually shows the heart element or the emotional element of entrepreneurship. We would like to hear your thoughts about that, Kabir.
Sorry, Chris, just missed it. And
Yeah, I was
before that,
asking.
I would, yeah,
Yeah, I was
yes, yes.
asking the emotional element to the entrepreneurship because everyone talks, entrepreneurship is all about money and planning and strategy and marketing. But from what Beatrice said, what from Fanaki said, from your journey, we gather another element to entrepreneurship, which is having a heart, understanding people, or being with their emotions. We'd like to hear your thoughts about that aspect of entrepreneurship, which is having a heart.
Thank you, Chris. So, like this year, I would like to tell it as an instance what happened when I closed my store in 2000, like last year, same January. So I was almost singing and I had no options. And one fine day, the court comes and seals my shop. And that was my dream for 17 years, 16, 2006 to 2000, yeah, take it 23. So everything was lost. So what happens to an entrepreneur at that time is then no one speaks to you and no one communicates to you. And most of the time, it's loneliness. So that's when I thought, and I gave an interview. I put up a poem on LinkedIn. And after that, uh, I was called for two interviews on media. So one message I put out is shout out when you win, when you fail, because both are achievements. Because you tried, you failed. Because when you are ready to put your wins, you have to be ready to put your failures. So that was one thing I put in as a message. Then other thing is that you have to, when you're starting an entrepreneurship journey, you have to have entrepreneurs in your phone book because they knows you better. So that's why when I take, so my cohort is I think one of the longest cohort, and I have, and it is around 10 years. I look everyone for 3 months, and after that, it's a 10 years journey with me. But I try to build an ecosystem where they get connected to each other, they can communicate to each other, because I don't want the entrepreneurship to be a lonely thing, lonely journey. So one thing which I would like to tell is to others who are not entrepreneurs, if you have a entrepreneur as your friend, a person who does business as your friend, once in a while call them, because most of the time they may be lonely. They may be going through a lot of challenges. And think in a different aspect, because of the entrepreneurs there is jobs. So you want the entrepreneurs or the business community to come up, so that that can create more and more jobs and help the world. So this is one, two, three uh, things I would like to tell in that. And I think there is Bashir PA. He's also like when I'm down, I used to talk to him, and he used to give me lot of what I tell, like advices, and he runs Mentor Hub. Uh, Bashir, Bashir Ka Vital, Bashir Ka, if you can raise your hands, come up. We would also like to hear a few words of wisdom from you. I hope it answered, Dr. Chris.
Yes, thank you for that beautiful answer. Bridging the gap between the hearts while you're on the entrepreneurship journey. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Ashwini and Vikram Poddar for having come. And I'd like to invite Bashir PA to come on stage and share your thoughts. Please raise your digital hand so that we can bring you up. At the same time, what we are listening is the first hand experience of an entrepreneur, the ups and downs. Usually, when you see the say business magazines or the Forbes listed entrepreneurs, we just see the success part of it. They might have had many failures. They might have had moments when people completely stop talking to them. Maybe people think that, oh, this person could be a liability for me. So such kind of thoughts do happen. And Kabir, you're an example where you are ready to bridge the gap between the hearts so that we can have a movement forward. Fanaki, I would like to ask one aspect of a habit which, when I was working in radio, I used to tell people randomly take a number from your phone whom you have not called for a very long time and just tell them, I just called to ask, are you okay? Because usually when a call comes, we already have a feeling that this person is calling for some need. How would you look at it as a habit, Fanaki?
A very good question. When someone comes, we always think that this person is calling for needs. Or sometimes, if it's on our contact, of course. But sometimes we wonder. It depends on the relation we had with that person. And personally, I never did that. I would just call randomly someone, but someone already did that to me. Like they just called me, and I was just why will they call me at this time in the middle of, I don't know, it was not my birthday, it was not New Year's, there was no celebration. And they just said like, how are you? Is everything okay? And I was so touched. But from the habit point of view, I will say just try. You never know who you will lift up during that time. You may feel like that's awkward. That's I don't know. It's not a good idea or all, but just try. But make sure the person knows you, because most of the
Oh,
time
okay.
people say like nowadays it's a sales call is very common. No one, no, everyone is just waiting to drop your call just like that. But yeah, it's good. It's good to try because we never know who we can help just by calling them.
Yeah, thank you, Fanaki. We have Jayad George, entrepreneur himself. Yes, the mic's yours. Please do share your thoughts.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, Kabir, Finaik. I have a different take on that actually. The thing is, in today's world, when we are continuously meeting new people, networking, and all that, the contact list just gets enormous. It's not like how we used to do in the Nokia days when we had limited contacts and that's it. Right now, I don't know. I can't count my contacts. It's numerous. But how many are useful? How many are not? That's a different case. Okay. Apart from that, the point which you had put up, I have a friend who is like, he's doing his own business, he's on his own, etc., etc. We don't talk. But when a need arises or when something is there, we just pick up the phone and just call and talk directly, get to the subject. There might have been a gap of maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years or more, but that never matters. He's always there, and whenever we finish up talking, we just say what we both are synchronized with, and we end the conversation. And maybe the next conversation might be in another few months or maybe years, who knows, but that's one aspect of certain friendship levels which do last, and I'm very happy to have that kind of a people with in my network. Again, um, connecting with people who are randomly there in our contact list, yes, just like Fineki said, there are chances. I'm sorry, who are you? Where did we meet? It
possible.
can be, yeah, it can be maybe just a month away. It can be maybe just 2 weeks ago. But then, you just take the contact and it's saved, it's there. But then it's not necessary. They themselves have to register that we had met and etc. etc. Anyways, I just wanted to share this fact. Thank you so much, Chris. And I do keep reading your daily updates on WhatsApp. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Masterminds.
very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, George. We have Vikram. Vikram, glad to have you upstage. Your thoughts, please.
Yeah, hi. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Once again, it's very great to be here. I know it's kind of strange that we met, not very long time ago, but given that it was a previous year, it also feels like so long ago. I don't know what's. Um, I guess I've kind of come in a little late into the discussion, but I was just listening to the second half of what Kabeer was saying, and it kind of struck me that when I started out full time in corporate comedy, this was in 2013. It was pretty challenging. There were some challenging circumstances, and I will admit there was some hesitation of am I sure I'm doing the right thing? Quitting that investment banking, and so I'll admit there was some hesitation, and because I was not entirely sure, I did end up going for one job interview, which was for a real estate developer, the Lodha Group. There was that uncertainty, but in the interview, I realized even in the interview, I was still trying to pitch the HR to hire me for a corporate comedy show, then to take up the job. So in my head, I was like, man, somewhere you've decided this is what you're going to do. So go ahead and if I can just share something funny before I sign off on a lighter note, you will not believe the tweet that I just put out today. This was for the Lodha Group only. It says, and I quote, brazenly illegal construction causing air and sound pollution bang in the middle of residential area at Palava downtown, which is a Lodha project. And I have tagged the Kalyan Dombivali police, the Navi Mumbai police, Queen of Than. Okay, she's an influencer. It's purely work. And the best part is the last person I've tagged is the owner of the Lodha group, Mangal Prabhat Lodha. If I was working there, I would not even dare to look at this guy in the eye. No, here I'm accosting him. So maybe the entrepreneur journey does eventually work out. Yes, that's it.
Right, right. Thank you very much, Vikram. And we have the pleasure of having Bashir PA, Chief Executive Officer, and the mentor hub and the mentor to Kabir himself. So, Bashir Ka, please, the stage is all yours.
I think it's first two audio rooms. Bashirka, you have to, on the right bottom, you have the unmute button.
Hi.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for bringing me up. And I was wondering to hear the interesting conversation between you and the PCK. PCK, Kabeer is known in our circle as PCK. And he is very popular in our team. You know, and of course I have been running this mental health platform for a long time, but I would say Kabeer was becoming a mentor for me most of the time. Reason being, he has been continuously facing so many failures, but he was always telling me the failures are to celebrate. So I have never seen such a person before who wants to shout out to the world. I have failed, and it is a learning for me as well as for you. So much such learnings many of the people have brought. That is what I would say at this point of time. That was a great learning I got. Thank you, PCK, for all those learning, and I was getting a chance to recollect all those discussions we had at that point in time. So today I got it again, and hope to hear from you with Chris such a conversation again and again. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk at this platform.
Thank you very much, Bashirka. I would like to recognize or thank Kanimori for being here. We have Davis Anto, Fatima. Any of you, especially I would request Amin and Semi, both of you to come upstage and do share your thoughts. And as you raise your digital hand, I'll be still waiting to see that. as the clock ticks slowly towards the last 6 minutes of the session. Just seriously, voicing thoughts with Chris. That's me. And meanwhile, when they raise their digital hand, I would like to uh, uh, pass on the information that yes, we are on a journey of creating new voices for the world to listen and getting you to speak in a fashion where your voice is recognized as your signature, your identity. So I would request Amin to come forward to share your thoughts about the journey as well as Semi, because we
Yes,
still have that question
yes.
in our mind. Yes, Kabir.
Shemi will be speaking from my speaker because she is recording the session.
No problem. No
Okay,
problem.
that is why she
Yes,
come up.
we'd like to hear from Semi first. And in the meanwhile, Amin, please do raise your hand so that we can bring you up stage.
Hi, Kriss.
Hi. So the journey, as we heard, we want to listen to the other side of the coin, or the other part where the home front actually saw entrepreneurship journey and Kabir's ups and downs, and how you were able to be the pillar, because he strongly believes that you are the pillar of strength for his entrepreneurship journey.
Yeah. He was very passionate about in the entrepreneurship. So no one can deviate him from this. So it's better to support him. so, so I
Is it
give
is it
the
is it a
maximum
thought? Is it a thought you would like to pass on to every spouse, that if your the partner is so passionate, just keep mum and support that person? Is that the voicing thought you have now?
support. Yeah, yeah. So I give the maximum support to him.
Was it difficult?
The journey.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, there was up and down also there. It's a part of life. In
Right.
everyone's journey, there will be up and down. For us, it's more to financial part.
Thank you very much, Amy. And I strongly wish and do pass on the wish to you that let the journey take up better spaces, and all the difficulties vanish off, and you can say the same story, saying that yes, today we have reached a position where that day I had to say like this, and today we are much better. I'd like to thank Arun and Vipul for joining us, and
Thank you,
we
Chris.
have. Thank you very much. I have Fatima Nasreen, who is an educator with very strong, varied experience. Fatima, your thoughts about Just Seriously, voicing thoughts with Kabir.
Well, hello everybody. First of all, Chris, what an amazing session. I must say, I'm really delighted to be a part of this session, and congratulations to you, first of
Thank
all.
you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I always say that your sound or what you convey to us always makes us stay humble because that humbleness is inside you. So you always spread it, and it is really beautiful to listen to what you are telling all the time. And telling about Kabir, sir, I wanted to share a few things. I have known him only for past few months, but crossing paths with him was actually really I consider it as fortunate because the kind of energy he pass on to us is another level, I must say, because it is always positive. I have never gotten a negative a vibe from him. Whenever, if any negativity, there was no kind of such vibes that he provide. He always gives positive. So I always asked him once that it might be his experience, level of experience he had in meeting people, or the level of experience in his journey might have made him this much positive in his life. And he share the important thing is that he share it with everybody. That is one thing I always find interesting, because it is really difficult for us, because especially we are humans and we are social people. We need our society to live, and having a negative thought is natural. It is humane, but uh, he always finds a positive way to tackle it. That is really an amazing thing that he owns, and I am really fortunate and glad to call him as my mentor in this LinkedIn journey. And I want to use this opportunity to thank him because through him I had many opportunities to speak, to meet lots of people who work in different kind of sectors. And this journey, I was fortunate to accompany him in his 100 days of entrepreneurship series, and I just want to thank him for this opportunity he gave. Thank you so much once again, everybody.
Thank you very much, Fatima. We have Yahya. It's indeed a pleasure to have you here. And your thoughts about the session, please.
Hi, good evening to all. Actually, this is first time I'm talking in a platform. So we started my friendship here from I think class 6 or 7. We were in the same hostel, same school, and I know all his up and downs. I think after Shemi, I was waiting to hear Shemi what she was going to say. Anyway, I'm keeping one dialogue from that three idiots. I think three idiots. That what we say that अंदर से पता था वो आप एक दिन बड़ा हो जाएगा वो I was keeping that dialogue for a long time. I know that Kabir will reach that high. I'm sure about that. That's it, and thank you for all. That's it from my side.
Thank you very much,
So
Yahya.
I would like to tell one thing that is about the JCI or having me first. I was winning my elocution. So this would be one witness. He is the only one witness here who has been that journey. So thank you, dear. And then in first, this is again one person who I do call to. Or these are few friends who really calls back and tells, "Come on, are you doing good?" So we need more friends like you here. Thanks, dear, for being in my life.
Yeah, thank you very much, Yahya. And before we call it a day, we have seriously voiced certain thoughts which happen to be life lessons from Kabir's life as well as Kabir's entrepreneurship journey. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Charito Yamar for joining us, and do look forward to meeting more people voicing thoughts just seriously with me. And Kabir, your parting notes, please.
One thing, I was very happy, Chris. You gave me the first opportunity to be like the speaker on your like first show, which is starting, and I'm very blessed to have or be here. And since the portfolio of your interviews, from Benazir Bhutto to all the world icons, so when you started a LinkedIn audio room and called me, it's a very honor. Thanks a lot for that. And apart from that, one message I would like to leave is dream big, dream very big, aim high, start small. Start very small so that you can easily focus on what you're doing. Start very small so that you can easily build a discipline around what you're doing. Start very small so that you can easily master what you're doing. Just give it a try. Never lose hope. If you fail, no problem. It's a learning. Yes, it may be hard in the start, but after that, you'll find why that happened and where it is taking you. And never stop talking to people around you. Talk to your friends, have a friend circle, have a few numbers in your contact list when you're not entrepreneur, so that when you're fully down, you need to call them and have. I forgot to tell two people's name. I have two friends when I really want to cry. I call those. One is Shaukat, and who is my neighbor, and one is my friend Ajish, who is in Qatar. So in entrepreneurship, there would be times where you need to cry. So these are two friends when I want. Shaukat was here. At that time, I would go to him, I would sit near him, I would cry. And there was Ajish. So it's a journey. There would be toughness, but never when you feel lonely, when you feel disappointed, when you feel failed, never stop talking to any of your friends. It's just that time, that too will pass, and that's the message. And thanks a lot once again, Chris. And it's a great honor and pleasure to be with you on a first show.
Thank you very much, Kabir. It's indeed my pleasure and honor to host you because you give a different meaning to entrepreneurship, bridging the gap between hearts and never letting a failure affect you and moving ahead, motivating people and moving ahead with a lot of people holding hands together, saying that, come, let's be successful. Just Seriously Voicing Thoughts with Kriss Venugopal every Thursday, 9:30 to 10:30. And I'll be with you with new people voicing their thoughts about new voices and their life journeys. Please do join every Thursday, 9:30 to 10:30. And signing off, this is yet another dreamer, like Kabeer says, from this part of the world. I'm Kriss Venugopal. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for those who came upstage, and thank you for all the attendees who were there from the beginning and those who joined late. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm Dr. Kriss Venugopal, signing off. Thank you very much.